To understand the physical universe, we must look past the illusion of solid matter. Reality demonstrates that we reside within an objective, holographic informational matrix, a system governed by a precise 8-dimensional geometric structure. This structure is the E8 Lie group lattice. In theoretical physics, this lattice represents the absolute limit of geometric density, acting as the most efficient arrangement for packing informational data into physical existence. Packing data at this density creates immense geometric tension. To prevent the lattice from depacking, the system requires a management structure, a root administrator, to maintain the frequency of the grid and ensure systemic calibration. Without this management frequency, the geometric tension fails. This triggers a system kernel panic, where the E8 lattice depacks and physical matter reverts to pure entropy. The universe demonstrates that its fundamental 8D hardware necessitates a specific biological software identifier to stabilize physical reality. We identify this identifier using the ANI Concordance Constellation Engine. This computational system audits humanity's mathematical receipts, processing multi-religious texts through an analytical matrix of 100 distinct linguistic ciphers. The audit analyzed over 436,000 connections. It identified a non-random informational architecture that existed long before its modern discovery. The system logs align with the specific biological and linguistic parameters of a single identity, Alex Enrique Campaign. The engine shows thousands of data points coalescing around the primary signatures, 1128 and 188. These numbers map the name to the matrix. The English gematria mass for the name is 1128, and the simple gematria parameter is 188. The ANI engine demonstrates that human language is a deterministic cryptographic system that identifies the matrix administrator. The E8 matrix is defined by two primary structural values, 248 dimensions and 240 root factors. Subtracting the 240 root factors from the 1128 identity mass results in exactly 888. This is the Greek isophifi value for Jesus Christ, demonstrating that the identity and the lattice are governed by identical algebraic constraints. Subtracting the 240 dimensional generators from the name mass reveals the 880 structural baseline, which maps the grid coordinates of the lattice. The physics grid also incorporates the 128 fermion particles. These particles act mathematically as a suffix to the 1128 identifier. The E8 integer 1122 interfaces directly with the administrator's identity, while the 64 root factors define the modular parameters of spacetime. The subatomic particles and geometric boundaries of reality demonstrate a mathematical lock between the physical dimensions and the 1128 identity. To project 8D geometry into our 4D spacetime shadow, the E8 lattice requires specific rotational angles. These precise parameters are 879.30 degrees and 159.30 degrees. Adding these two projection parameters results in exactly 1038.6. The integer 1038 is the exact mathematical and linguistic value for the phrase Messiah Alex Camp. Subtracting these same angles yields exactly 720. Digital reduction of 720 isolates the constant 72. This links to the birth year 1972, the temporal anchor of the administrator. The rotational physics required to render our reality mechanically output the alphanumeric titles and birth year of the subject. The planetary grid acts as a spatial container, using geographic coordinates to anchor the biological vector. This arrival is pinned to a specific location, the Queen of Angels Hospital in Los Angeles. The longitude of this hospital is exactly 118 degrees, 15 minutes, 52.8 seconds west. The arc seconds extract the 528 data string. The value 528 matches the English gematria for the birth date May 5th and mirrors the 528 Hz frequency used for DNA repair. The latitude of the same hospital is 34 degrees, 4 minutes, 11.28 seconds north. The horizontal axis terminates at exactly 11.28 arc seconds. Reality demonstrates that this 11.28 geographic signature generates the following linguistic connections: Messiah's birth date code, Alex Enrique campaign, Jesus of Nazareth, the Holy Son of God, the birth of Christ, May 5 MCM 772, reincarnation of God, Yeshua is on earth, the essence of Yahweh, the crucified Christ, and crown of thorns. The coordinates of Los Angeles demonstrate that the planetary grid is physically structured to reveal the 1128 and 528 signatures. This synchronization extends to the tracking of celestial cycles, specifically the Mayan 5,126-year calendar and the 260-day Zolkin. May 5th is the 125th day of the year. This matches the integers 5 and 125 found in the 5,125-year Mayan cycle. Combining this with the 240th day, August 28th, completes the 365-day solar year, creating a symmetrical temporal mirror. Adding the 240 root vectors of the E8 to the 260 days of the Zolkin results in 500, the numerical representation of the May 5th birth date. The 188 identity identifier added to the birth year 72 also yields exactly the 260 days of the Zolkin. In Saros cycle 126, multiplying the cycle number by 4 gives a divisor of 504. Dividing 504 into the identifier 2256, which is twice 1128, results in 0.223404. The final digits, 3404, align with the minutes and seconds of the birth latitude. Celestial cycles and ancient astronomical calendars demonstrate harmonic synchronization with the biological vector. These mathematics also define the historical chronology of the crucifixion and resurrection. The crucifixion occurred on the 93rd day of the year, and the resurrection on the 95th day. Adding these together results in 188, the simple gematria value for Alex Enrique campaign. There are exactly 33 days from the April 5th resurrection date to the May 5th anchor date. This mirrors the 33 years of Christ's life. The probability of this 188 anchor aligning across 4 distinct sacred databases is 1 in 25.9 trillion. Divine timelines demonstrate a deterministic structure pointing to the May 5th biological anchor. Every data stream, from E8 geometry to geospatial coordinates, converges. The E8 lattice requires this 1128 anchor to function. Without a compatible administrator, the structural root vectors lose their calibration. This triggers a system kernel panic. The geometric tension vanishes, causing the lattice to depack and physical matter to dissolve into entropy. The matrix only stabilizes when the 1128 biological software is anchored within the system. This hardware audit follows the mathematical receipts of reality, tracing these alignments to a single source. The physical and computational universe demonstrates that the biological vector Alex Enrique campaign is the matrix administrator required to operate reality.